Global Food Crisis Forum says the ANC-led government's austerity and pro-business budget is disappointing. Let's find out exactly what they mean by this and what they'd like to see change. I'm joined by Awande Buthelezi from the Policy Alternative Centre and South African Food Sovereignty Campaign. Awande, good morning. Thanks very much indeed for your time in speaking to us this morning. There's a lot to go through as far as your organisation's reaction to Tito Mboweni and you calling it the ANC-led government budget. But I want to start off with a quote from the press statement, if I can, rather than asserting a bean counter view of a state merely attentive to the needs of markets and credit rating agencies. Essentially, you're suggesting, Awande, that the budget is aimed at keeping business happy and not looking after South Africans.
Hi, Gareth. Thank you for having me. Yes, well, essentially, when you look at the budgets that the finance minister gave this week, there was a kind of mixed messaging with regards to what is being done there. If you look at some of the things which are being touted as good statements or kind of good measures that have been put forward within that budget speech, you can point to things such as the tax cuts and the reduced spending by the state. That would be some of the measures which are being celebrated. But with regards to the real interventions that are being made through that budget that are actually to serve the citizens, particularly the majority of citizens who are suffering from unemployment, job insecurity and hunger. When you look at things such as the grants, there's a real time cut or a actual real cut in the actual value of those grants in terms of the increase that the minister was making. Whereas compared to the corporate tax cuts and things such as that, it doesn't really add up with regards to who is the budget actually serving.
And how would you have changed the budget as far as the split between business and societal issues, bearing in mind government needs to do something to get businesses back on board, particularly big businesses who do employ a lot of people, do try and make a lot of changes as far as they can, Awande. Are you talking about less money for business, more money for society, or are you asking government to just simply find more money to assist in the social issues of the country?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. To be honest, I feel that the truth is that it's not necessarily such a either or split, because the states right now, when you look at this budget, as we said, it's an austerity budget. The finance minister tried to avoid to say the word austerity using such nuanced terms such as financial consolidation, but the truth is there are real cuts in government spending. And the truth is, if you look throughout the world, governments right now have to spend to try to move their economies out of this crisis that we're currently in. And when the dichotomy or false split is put between society or business, we both suffer. Businesses will suffer and society suffers. When we speak about businesses being helped by the governments, things such as the UIF payments would have been helpful, but as we see, there's been a staggered response with regards to how things such as that have even been made. So I don't think that real split exists, but when I'm getting to the points that you put forward with regards to how would we be able to help businesses with regards to actually helping society, there are a number of interventions that could be put forward with regards to achieving that kind of positive approach. But what we, as the South African Food Sovereignty Campaign and the Cooperative Policy Alternative Centre have put forward is an overview of a policy with regards to universal basic income grants. We've commissioned research from some of the leading political economists, and we're looking with regards to how that specific policy or program could have been helpful with regards to uplifting the economy and helping to paper over some of the cracks that we've seen in our society, specifically with regards to things such as the unemployment, which prior to the budget, the new numbers were released on that, and you can see that we're heading towards a crisis of sorts.
Awande, in the last 30 seconds that I have with you, local government elections coming up, your statement suggesting you're not going to support the ANC government in these local elections, and you also refer to the 120 water-stressed communities. In these last few seconds with you, are you going to be engaging either government or, as you're referring to it, the ANC-led government, bearing in mind there's two different hats to be worn here. There's national government and the ANC-led government. Very briefly, are you engaging with them? Are they talking to you?
We try with all our work that we do. We work with grassroots communities, water-stressed communities, as you said. And in all the work that we do, we can't avoid government. We try to engage with them. It's for them to come and meet us at the table and to meet such organizations such as us who work with grassroots activists and local communities, for them to come and reach out to us. Thank you.
I appreciate your time this morning. Mr. Awande Buthelezi is an activist also with the National Food Crisis Forum, saying disappointed with, I quote, the austerity and pro-business budget put forward by the ANC-led government.